Good morning, dear students. In today's class, we will discuss about the design of cantilever retaining wall, about the dimensioning of cantilever retaining wall, and also about the design steps we will discuss here. So, let's start the class. First of all, depth of retaining wall. Before start designing, we have to set the dimensions, various dimensions of retaining wall. Suppose we have a retaining wall, cantilever retaining wall here. Okay. Here we have filled the back soil. That is the original ground level. So that is a height which we know already, okay, that is h2, and height from the top of the back soil field and up to the top of the base slab is denoted by h1, and height from the top of the back soil field to bottom of the base slab is called overall height of the retaining wall, that is capital H. So at the initial stage, we know that value. We have that particular value, how much height of soil we have to retain by that particular structure. We know it already. Okay, and that is the depth of foundation for retaining wall, and we denote is with y. So minimum depth of foundation can be calculated. Minimum depth of foundation can be calculated as y minimum will be equal to q naught divided by gamma into ka square. That is very important formula. You all of have to remember it. Y minimum will be equal to q naught by gamma into k square, where q naught, we all know q naught is soil bearing capacity, gamma is weight density of soil, and K is active earth pressure, coefficient of active earth pressure. And the value of Ka can be calculated by 1 minus sine phi divided by 1 plus sine phi. After calculating value of K, we can calculate the Y minimum because the Q naught and gamma we will have already. Okay. And if we get the Y minimum, depth of foundation, so Y will be equal to or greater than Y minimum, right? And if once we get the depth of foundation, we can calculate the overall depth of retaining wall easily. So from here, the overall depth of retaining wall, so depth of retaining wall will be equal to, capital H will be equal to H2 plus Y minimum. Why? Because that particular depth from here to here we will know already, and that particular depth we have calculated here. By adding h2 with the y minimum, we can get the overall depth of retaining wall. And once if we get the overall depth of retaining wall, we can set the various dimension parameter of retaining wall, like the base slab width, that is the base slab width we can calculate with the help of depth of retaining wall, thickness of the base slab, and thickness of the stem at the base, and also thickness of the stem at the top. Generally, we keep cantilever retaining wall in trapezoidal shape. The maximum thickness is required at the bottom, so the maximum thickness is provided at the bottom, and the minimum thickness is provided at the top, and that is the trapezoidal section. Now, with base slab width of base slab B will be equal to 0.5 time of H to 0.6 time of H, and toe slab projection will also be equal to 0.3 times of B. And what is toe slab projection? That is the toe slab projection. In front side, the portion of the base slab is toe slab, and that portion is called toe slab projection. So we will keep the toe slab projection approximately 30% of base width, and 65 to 70% portion will be covered by the heel slab here. And thickness of the base slab thickness of base slab will be equal to h by 12, and that will also be equal to stem thickness at base. The thickness of the stem at the base and thickness of the base slab will be equal, and that will be equal to h by 12. And the thickness of stem at the top and thickness of stem at top will be equal to 150 to 300 mm. 150 to 300 mm thickness we have at the top portion. Okay. That is the process by which we set the dimensions, various dimensions for the retaining wall, and after setting the various dimension parameter for the retaining wall, we will start our designing. So here also we will discuss about the design step. Design steps. In first step, what type of given data is given? We look it on. The first one is given data. Given data. In given data, we will have density of soil, soil bearing capacity, that is Q naught, soil bearing capacity, coefficient of friction, frictional angle, grade of concrete, grade of steel, and height up to which the soil have to retain by the retaining wall. That means the value of H2 will be given. So these are the given parameters. In second step, we will decide the dimension parameters, dimensioning of retaining wall. Dimensioning of retaining wall. We have already done that particular step. How the various dimension parameter are being set, we have done already here. Okay, how to set the depth of retaining wall, how to set the dimensions, base width, thickness, projections, all these parameter. And after the setting dimension, we will start design. Then in step third, we will check the stability criteria. Stability check. We will apply the stability check, and basically two type of stability we ensure here. First one is overturning about toe. Here we will calculate factor of safety first, F1, and that should be greater than or equal to 1 by 1.4. Second criteria is sliding. For sliding, we will calculate factor of safety second F2, and that should be greater than or equal to 1.4. If the value of F2 is not more than 1.4 or equal 1.4, we have to provide shear key. Okay. And in stability check, we also ensure the soil reaction. So third one will be equal to soil reaction. Here we have to calculate P max and P minimum. And that will be equal to summation W divided by V 1 plus 6 E by B, yeah, minus. For the P maximum, plus sign will be used, and for P minimum, minus sign will be used. Here, P max should be greater than or equal, should not be greater than, should be less than or equal to soil bearing capacity, that is Q naught. And P minimum should be greater than 0, greater than or equal to 0. The soil minimum should not be a negative value, right? So by calculating these parameters, we can ensure the stability of the retaining wall for various criteria. And after ensuring the stability, we will design the various element of the retaining wall. In next step, we will design the stem wall, design of stem as a cantilever beam or cantilever slab. In sixth step, we will design heel slab. Again, it will be designed as the cantilever slab. In seventh step, we will design toe slab. And if the eighth step is optional, if F2 is less than or equal to 1.4, if that criteria occur, only at that time we will design the shear key, we will provide the shear key. So if F2 is less than or equal, less than, not or equal to, less than 1.4, design of shear key will be required. So here we also design about the shear key, and after design all these elements parameter, in the next last step we will show the detailing of RCC by drawing. Okay, so detailing of RCC. RCC. This is the whole process for the design of cantilever retaining wall. By following this process, we can easily design the cantilever retaining wall. And in next class, we will solve a question for design of the cantilever retaining wall. That's all for today. Thank you.